Sorry, I just started feeling bad that you guys haven't seen the movie.
Oh.
It's okay.
I'm sorry. I just started feeling really bad like halfway through my sentence. Welcome back to E.T. at the Movies, the spoiler section.
Spoiler warning, spoiler warning.
Spoiler warning, spoiler warning.
If you have not seen Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, close out of that tab.
Close out of that tab.
Or keep the tab open, give us the view, but put us on mute.
I'm going to put a graphic here. There's spoilers. Okay, let's dive in. What is your favorite Baby Groot moment?
It is so hard to choose, but am I telling it to Baby Groot?
Yeah, let him know.
So, my favorite of your moments, Baby Groot, was there is one scene where they are hopping through different dimensions, and it ends, and they're all bogged out, and Baby Groot just projectilely vomits, essentially Skittles. And it is a problem of mine. All my friends make fun of me, but if someone surprise vomits, I'm laughing.
It was literally from the first scene to the final post-credit scene. I was like, I love this character so much. But if I had to pick a favorite, the first scene, and then when he's trying to get Yondu's fin.
Oh, that's a good one.
And brings back the body part.
The thumb.
That was the funniest freaking thing I've ever seen, James Gunn.
I was quite surprised that following on the tail of Doctor Strange, some of the end beats did feel pretty similar. That planet hopping scene I talked about kind of felt like something out of Doctor Strange. Mm-hmm. The fact that Star-Lord was like fighting a giant head in the end, kind of Doctor Strange-y. And I didn't hate it by any means. I loved it, but I was like, let's see Doctor Strange, bring him in.
But then again, you could also say that Doctor Strange pulled a little bit from Guardians.
Yes. Oh,
and then
Doctor
they went
Strange,
back to Guardians too.
But two climaxes fighting a giant head, it was, you would think someone at Marvel would run down the hallway and be like, too much heads. Too much giants' heads.
Yeah.
Mr. Kurt Russell as Ego, the living planet, been shrouded in secrecy. Secrecy's over. What did you think of Ego? What did you think of Kurt? What did you think of that whole storyline?
I didn't read anything. I was keeping myself in the dark, which I recommend you all do. And I was so shocked about that storyline that if I would have thought about his name for maybe 5 minutes, probably could have figured out a lot of what was going to happen, but I didn't. I just was like, you know, I'm just going to Ego, whatever.
I do love that James Gunn did his own thing. He didn't go off the comics. He made it strange. He made it weird, which is what we want from Guardians.
But the scene where we find out that Ego is responsible.
Oh, we don't even have to say it, because I know exactly what you're talking about, and
That broke me.
I audibly gasped in my theater. And you can't unsee
we were
it
sitting
afterwards.
next to each other.
You didn't hear me gasp? You hear me gasp? I gasped.
Well, I think the whole theater was just like,
yeah. It was shocking.
It was shocking. But we do get a lot of character arcs from the other characters that were really surprising to me. One being Yondu.
Not only to have that from an unexpected character, but with Guardians, the I Am Groot moment from the end of the first one is so emotional, and now is like the bar for Marvel emotion. And the whole time I'm watching the movie, I'm kind of like, how could they possibly top this? Oh, they're not gonna top it. And then to have that moment come from Yondu, I was, again, surprised. This movie surprised me a lot and made me tear up.
Especially up until that point, we were getting so much humor even in the most emotional of moments, even in the Ego moments. I was like, oh my gosh, they're just gonna like make us laugh the whole time. There's not gonna really be that moment. And then it happens, and it was a lot.
It was heavy and beautiful, and I'm gonna cry right now.
I'm crying now just thinking about it. Pee, dude. After the sad passing of Yondu, we get 5 post-credits scenes.
I believe a Marvel first. James Gunn, you're out of your mind.
You're out of your mind, but in a good way. Keep it going, man.
In a great way. I love 5. I'm like, give me 6, give me 7, give me 8.
Yeah,
well, 8 might be too much.
And well, for the most part, like, he tries to play it goofy, but then we actually get a lot.
On set, he said, he was like, can we beep on this thing? He said, my credits are stupid shit. Like, you don't have to stay for them. They're not going to affect the Marvel Universe. And like, every one of these is pretty huge. The first one is a pretty simple one. It is Sean Gunn, James Gunn's brother, kind of inheriting Yondu's whistle. It's just kind of a fun scene, and we know James is coming back to do Guardians 3 now, and it's like, oh, we're going to get that whistle again, and we'll probably get more Sean Gunn, and Sean Gunn's great, so like, Great. So, post-credit scene number 2 is Stan Lee. So, I've done a little bit of diving. This is kind of deep Marvel stuff. Stan Lee is playing an astronaut with a group of characters called the Watchers. The Watchers kind of oversee this entire Marvel cinematic universe, plus the X-Men movies, plus the blah, 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 blah. When Stan Lee is kind of talking to these Watchers and saying, I have so many more stories to share, in a way it's kind of like pulling all these movies together a little bit.
Right.
I don't know. Also, fans might be looking way too much into that scene. It could just be a funny little Howard the Duck bit, but that's the current theory being floated.
Well, James Gunn did say something interesting about the post-credit scenes that I want you guys to hear.
Every tease that we have at the end of the credits is something that's meant to become a bigger part of the Marvel Cosmic Universe as we move forward into the next decade.
And I think that actually has to do a lot with the third scene, which is we finally know who Sylvester Stallone is playing. He's Starhawk, who is one of the 3,000 Guardians, who is the original team of Guardians. And Yondu was one of the original Guardians. So they've kind of adapted, kind of bastardized this original team into a Ravager faction, which is a really fun way to bring them in.
Right.
And you get a handful of these other original ones. You get...
Like, so fast, too.
So fast.
Like, in the theater, just like, was that?
Oh, you're watching the credits and you're like, who is who? Who is who?
Yeah.
Tell me more. Tell me more.
Right.
Ving Rhames is in this?
Right, and you start recognizing the actors and the characters. And
Miley
you're like,
Cyrus is in
Miley
this?
Cyrus,
No one knew.
Michael Rosenbaum, who's one of James Gunn's really good friends.
Yeah, James has said over and over again he wants them back. If that whole crew is coming back in Volume 3, we're doing Civil War Part 2 Intergalactic Edition, which I love Civil War, so maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I think Marvel has proven that they can put a lot of characters into one movie and it still works. But, I mean, what I've gathered from what James Gunn has said, it seems like they're going to be a big part of the movie.
And if anyone can prove me wrong, it's Marvel, it's James Gunn. Prove me wrong.
Prove me wrong, James.
But we do know a guaranteed new person coming in the third edition, which is the fourth credit scene, which is Adam Warlock. The quick addition is fans have been clamoring for Adam Warlock since the Guardians was even announced. So now somehow Aisha has this cocoon and is creating Adam Warlock.
And then finally, my favorite post-credit scene, angsty teenage Groot.
This kind of looks like Teen Groot.
Yeah, well,
it looks more like
give him a
Teen
little
Groot.
bit of like an emo,
like a Fallout Boy,
Fallout Boy
Panic at the Disco
haircut.
But that scene is so great, and he's pissed off, and he's playing video games, and he's great. And
James did talk to us a little bit about Groot's evolution and that it was hard to let go of Baby Groot.
I think it's an awesome thing for an audience to be able to see a character actually grow up and to have kids who saw adult Groot in the first one and baby Groot in the second one be able to kind of grow up with him a little bit as these movies come out every couple years.
Was it tough for you to let go of Baby Groot so fast? I mean,
it was.
Clearly,
it was.
He's going to be a massive hit.
So yeah, overall,
another Marvel movie down.
Another one down. Already cannot
Another
wait.
Great one. On to the next one.
On to the next one.
Yeah, Spider-Man Homecoming, and then in the fall is Thor Ragnarok.
Oh my gosh. We have
which
so much
looks very Guardians-y, so.
Another episode of E.T. at the Movies down as well.
Another episode, first episode. Glad to be here.
So yeah, thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff I'm supposed to say, because if you do that, then we can keep doing more. And of course, you want to hear us, right?
We're the only voice in movies that matters.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.